We are going to explore what you can and cannot eat with IBS. And these are what people are saying and what they're confused about. First question, does gluten cause IBS? No, it does not cause IBS. Eventually though, when you do heal your IBS, you can eat gluten, because I eat gluten every now and then and nothing happens to me. But I do not suggest it while you're healing your IBS. Can I have dairy? Generally no, because it induces inflammation in the bowel. Can you have it raw, soy, or kefir? I wouldn't suggest raw or soy. Kefir, some people can tolerate it. What's good about it is it has a lot of good bacteria. So if you can tolerate small amounts, I would suggest you try and keep a food log and see how your symptoms are. Cold versus warm foods. Generally, when you have cold food, it disrupts the viscera and the sensitive nerves in the stomach. Why warmer food is better is because our bodies are always trying to reach a state of balance and equilibrium. So when it is colder than your stomach is going to work harder to warm it up, and that's going to be harder on your stomach. When it's warmer, it's already there. You've made it easy and effortless for your stomach to process the food. First part is a mechanical breakdown, and you use that by chewing it. And so when we're cooking the food really well, we're breaking the cell walls and the structure of the food so that it easily gets absorbed. And most of the time, a lot of us don't chew our food properly. So when you cook it really well, it really helps your irritable bowel digest it a little bit better. Having constipation, a papaya smoothie may be very helpful at room temperature. Juicing can be very beneficial too. I don't think that there's anything wrong with a cucumber and celery juice. Sometimes if you're having too many greens in the juice, it can be really hard on the stomach because it has that really strong bitter taste, and that might hurt your belly. So you might want to watch that one. Your best teacher is your body. This is just what has helped me. So raw salads, it's okay. I think sprouts are okay just because they're easier to digest if they're cooked. So the FODMAPs diet, that's what I call it, the FODMAPs diet. They say big no to this one, but for me, if it was super cooked, it was fine and it didn't do anything. And some other experts are saying that garlic and onions are good because it kills the bad bacteria. So that's something that you have to explore. But so I printed off the FODMAPs diet, and I just want to go through a few things that just struck out at me. For this kind of diet, you want to go low FODMAP, which makes things easier to absorb, and so you have less IBS triggers. That's the whole foundation of this kind of diet. And high FODMAPs is bad. I think asparagus is great if you have constipation. This one says it's bad. I think it's great, and I think it helps the peristalsis, like of it going down. Mushrooms, I think it's soft. There's soluble fiber in it, but then people are saying that it promotes yeast, so that's really up to you, but that really stuck out at me. That almonds are good. I think almonds are terrible. I think almonds are really hard on the belly, and it hurts if you eat almonds. I like softer nuts like walnuts and macadamia nuts. They're a lot nicer on the belly to digest. That's my opinion, and that's contradictory to this. There is a university that studies what kind of sugars to eat, and they say that a little bit of honey is good to have in your diet, whereas the FODMAPs diet is saying no to honey. So that is conflicting. I think a little bit of honey is fine. Your body is the best teacher. GAPS diet focuses on bone broth and gelatinous meat and stewed meat. Why? Because our stomachs, if you think about it, it has pepsin, which breaks down protein. So we need protein to rebuild things, and because bone broth has collagen inducing properties, it's good for your stomach. When I had bone broth all the time, and just bone broth, because I tried that, my stomach felt like that, and my stomach liked having some softer solid foods with it, so I didn't do really well on just bone broth. But I do believe that it's really good to include in your diet a little bit with every single meal. But to have solely just bone broth didn't work for me. That's something you'll also have to determine. When I had a lot of diarrhea, I first drank Gatorade, And why I'm not a fan of Gatorade, because it's not very natural. I mean, it comes in all this, it comes in blue. So it has like food coloring and all that stuff in it. I'm not really a fan of that. Coffee is a stimulant and it can irritate the bowel. It's also a diuretic, so it dehydrates you, and you need a lot of hydration, especially if you're losing a lot of water. Western holistic practice says no to white rice. I say yes to soft, steamed, hot white rice. And perhaps I'm a little bit biased, but I do have a friend who is, I think, Caucasian, Mexican. He's tried brown rice and he loves the white rice. He has history of really bad gut issues and arthritis, leaky gut, all that. And he's finding white rice helps really well, and he's into making congee, which is a rice, like an Asian rice porridge, which I think works really great if you're having an upset stomach. And can I have vegetable broth? I cannot see why not, especially if it's homemade. I never took gelatin powder. I took forms of powder that promotes the sealing, and I never really liked it. I think natural stuff is the way to go. But if you find a natural source of gelatin powder and it works for you, your body is the best teacher. Becoming among a huge and growing part of the population that is having chronic disorders because they decided to ignore their health. When I healed my stomach issues, and I believe it was the best thing they've ever done for myself, and it has changed my life. So I do think it is so important to put you first.